Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to test the Mifo O5 Gen 2 True Wireless Sport Earbuds. There are a couple of interesting features to talk about, so let's get right into it. But before we go deep into the details, let me tell you that I got the buds from Mifo for this review, but I don't get paid, and all the information I share with you guys in the next couple of minutes is based on my own experience with the buds. And that experience, as usual, started with taking the carry case out of the box, and my first impression was, wow, that thing is built like a tank. And I mean it literally, as it's made from metal and it's quite heavy too. It can provide a whopping 150 hours of playtime for the earbuds, so there is a massive 2600 mAh battery inside, which adds to the weight too. There is no wireless charging support though, so you will have to use the USB-C port on the side and the USB-C cable in the box to charge the case. But with the supplied USB adapter, you can also use the case as a power bank and charge your mobile phone, for example, and that's a great and unique feature to have. But back to the build quality of the case for a second. In general, it is more than impressive, but they opted for a hinge mechanism, which looks cool. However, it is not my favorite, as I found popping up the lid a bit too hard, and it also tends to just flop around when fully open. So that could have used some more work maybe. But again, the whole thing looks very cool, and the buds are safely stored inside when the lid is closed. The buds themselves are small to medium sized, and they are made entirely from plastic, but their build quality is extremely good, and they come with an IPX7 rating. And even though it says IP67 on the box itself, there is IPX7 everywhere else in the official specs and all the documentation I got from the manufacturer, so let's just go with that. The main thing here is that the Mifo O5 Mark II buds are fully waterproof, and thanks to their ergonomic and low profile design, they sit comfortably and securely in my ears, so they won't budge even when running outside or lifting in the gym. Well, these are sport earbuds after all, so they would better provide you with a snug fit and a high level of ruggedness, right? And they deliver all that, no doubt. And wind noise is not an issue either, as they sit quite deep in my ear canals and they are kind of flush with my ears. The buds are also very light, as they weigh around 4.9 grams each. I had no issues with their long-term comfort. I experienced no hotspots and there was no pressure build-up over time. The fact that the buds sit so deep in my ears have only one slight disadvantage, but I will touch upon that later on in the video. You get 5 sets of silicone ear tips in the box if you want to play around with different sizes for the perfect fit in your ears. The earbuds can run for up to 9 to 10 hours on a single charge, and again, the case can charge the buds fully like 15 times, making the total playtime around 150 hours. Inside the Mifo O5 Gen 2 buds, you can find the QCC3040 chip from Qualcomm, which means Bluetooth 5.2 with strong signals, a good range, fast and easy pairing, single bud mode, low latency and support for SBC, AAC and aptX. Not aptX adaptive though, as we only get the regular aptX codec and there is no multi-point use support either. I didn't have any signal related issues on either Android or iOS. Watching movies is lag-free, but playing games only proved to be okay-ish. As for the phone call quality, there are 2 mics on each bud for clear voice transmission, and as you can hear me talking through those mics, they can do a good job in a quiet room. As soon as I turn on some simulated ambient chatter on the speakers in front of me, the CVC 8.0 noise cancelling technology kicks in to make sure my voice remains easy to understand and it won't get lost in the background noise. We get touchpads on the Mifo O5 Gen 2 to control play, pause, volume, tracks and phone calls, but we don't get to activate our voice assistant using the touch controls. And we don't get a companion app either, so no custom settings or further options are available. The touch controls work well as far as their reaction time and accuracy go, but tapping them on either side makes me feel like I'm massaging my own eardrums, which is the only downside of the buds sitting so deep in my ear canals. Not a big deal, but it's something I don't experience with most earbuds, and since the fit of the earbuds can greatly vary from person to person, you might not even have such an issue. But one big advantage of the snug fit is the very effective passive noise isolation in my ears, which can somewhat compensate for the lack of active noise cancellation. The Mifo O5 II are not using traditional dynamic speakers, but instead you can find a balanced armature driver in each bud. And those drivers can produce quite a bass-heavy and warm sound. I feel like the bass is the boss here, and it doesn't really let the mids and the highs to take over, but this warm sound can come in handy during a workout, because the strong bass can boost your energy levels, but you won't feel any ear fatigue as the highs are not too bright or piercing. You still get all the musical details you want, it's just that everything is turned down a notch in the higher frequencies. And you get decent vocals too, even if they are pushed back in the mix a touch too far to my liking. Imaging is good, every element in the music has its own well-defined spot in the space between your two ears, but the sound stage feels a bit limited to me in terms of its absolute dimensions. But all in all, this warm and bass-dominant sound is perfectly tuned for workouts, so even though I usually prefer a more balanced and open sound, I have to admit that I enjoy listening to these buds in the gym and during my runs quite a lot. And since the Mifo O5 Gen 2 are true sport earbuds by design and cost around $110 euros or pounds, I thought I would compare them to the JBL Reflect Mini NC, because their recent price drop put them in exactly the same price bracket. So the design of the two buds is similar, as in they both have some sort of an extra ear support to provide you with a better fit. But while the Mifo buds deliver that snug fit with their actual low-profile, small-sized tapered shape, the JBL buds have different sized rubber fins and a textured coating on the inside to give you the same level of safety during a workout. I found them both equally secure, even though the Mifo buds sit deeper in my ears. Both buds have a great build quality, and we get an IPX7 rating with each. The JBL buds are larger and heavier, but their case is smaller and lighter. Mifo wins the battery life battle, plus there is the power bank feature. Neither of the two cases support wireless charging. There is Bluetooth 5.1 on board of the JBL, but we get Bluetooth 5.2 with the Mifo along with aptX support, which is missing from the JBL. I prefer using the touch controls on the Mifo, but the JBL has a smartphone app with custom settings, and there is also active noise cancellation, a talk-through mode, and autoplay pause amongst other features on the Reflect Mini NC. The sound of the JBL buds is a bit more open, with a more forward mid-range and with slightly less bass. Soundstage is wider, but imaging feels a touch less precise. Maybe it's just because of the deeper fit, but I get more of a bass impact from the Mifo buds at the expense of high frequency extension and the narrower soundstage. And let's not forget the built-in EQ feature of the JBL smartphone app. And I could go on and compare the Mifo O5 Gen 2 buds to other earbuds which come in at around the $100 price point, but if you want a pair of earbuds which were designed to be used for sports, then I believe these are two of your best options today. It's only your personal preferences that can tip the scales in favor of one or the other, but if you are looking for neat looking, small, lightweight, waterproof earbuds which have a snug fit, a great battery life, good touch controls and a warm, powerful sound, then you will have to choose the Mifo. Some app support would be nice though, and the omission of some other features such as active noise cancellation or wireless charging might be a deal breaker for some. But while the great passive isolation can offset the former, the latter can easily be overlooked if you consider what features you gain instead, and I mean the massive battery life and the power bank option you get with the case. So as always, it all comes down to your personal needs, and again, these buds were made with an active lifestyle in mind, and they deliver all the basics you might need to support yours. And this was my review of the Mifo O5 II True Wireless Sport Earbuds. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, feel free to comment away. Thanks for watching, see you next time.